What's up, everybody? You are listening to the Matt Menace Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host for the night, Aaron Lloyd. I'm joined by my guy, Eck, the responsible one, Trim Bicky. How you doing, baby?
What's going on?
All right, guys. As always, subscribe on all podcast platforms, iTunes, Google Play, and make sure to turn on your post notifications, thumbs up the video, and leave a comment down in the comment box and below. So we had WrestleMania weekend. It was an interesting time. My last time out the house for a while because I can't go out on school nights. I just can't do it. I really don't know how people do it anymore. But I had a great time. We had an eventful weekend. Sunday was great. There were a lot of it was hardcore in the parking lot on Sunday afternoon. So before we get into everything,
good teaser. I can't wait for next time. Next time, all caution to the wind.
Yeah, next time we'll bring some lighter fluid.
I'm gonna be like Jeff Hardy in 01.
All right. So before we get into the festivities, well, not even the festivities. Before we get into the events, let's review a bit of the festivities. So I'll let you go first. What consisted of your WrestleMania weekend?
I'm going to get right into that. But before I do just got to say /ask, you were just talking about, not going out for a while, especially on a school night. Not me and you before we hit record. I was just talking about, me being tired. It's my day off, but I was at work for a little bit. Just was getting over a head cold from the past week. So, yeah, I am tired. And I feel this in a good way. This year, the WrestleMania hangover, it hits different.
I have my own reasonings, but explain yours.
All right, so I'll go into answering your question, and then I'll finish off with answering that.
Okay.
My wrestling themed weekend, I want to say, was pretty packed. However, I felt like there was still a lot left on the table. It's just one of those things. Me being Eric Trimbicki just wasn't properly planned with, childcare, time allotment away from work. There was just so much more I wanted to do. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I got to do a good bit. Friday night, since, we had tickets for Mania Night 2. God forbid my daughter was not going to have it with her not partaking in some wrestling stuff. And I get it. We have a good father-daughter bond. So I figured she just wanted to do something. But Friday night, I think I by accident created a monster I just did not expect. So when I told her, I was like, look, night one's not really in the cards. I was like, how about we go to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown? She got real hype about the idea of SmackDown. Said, it's not a school night. Let's do that. And I was like, cool, I'm down for that. But I just want to let you know, it's also the Hall of Fame, which I was really looking forward to because I wanted to see Paul Heyman go into the Hall of Fame. I get a kick out of the Hall of Fame ceremony every year, and I've never been there live. This year's Mania was only my second WrestleMania ever I attended. 6 years ago when we were in New Orleans, I remember at the hotel watching the Hall of Fame, I think the next morning on my iPad. So I was looking forward to it, finally attending one, and it being, my favorite all-time manager, being the headliner. So Thursday, I miss all festivities. I didn't get to go to Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Live 19. I did want to go to that. We were on the show last week with Jay. I planned on going to Wrestlemania with you. I don't know what it was the past, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way up until today. Pretty much the minute I wake up, that first hour to 3 hours, I've just been feeling run down and sick. So I made the strategic choice so I'd be good for the weekend, the WWE events, to bail on Wrestlemania. So I missed Wrestlemania. There was a bunch of podcast lives. I don't know if Busted Open was that day, but there's several Busted Opens, and I missed all of those. However, let's get into what I actually did do. Friday night, went to SmackDown, me and my daughter, just the two of us, saw SmackDown, and she loved it. Cheering, dancing, singing, got her some merch. It was great. Had a ball. She wore an old AEW Cody shirt of mine. She got herself a nice little American flag We Want Cody shirt, was thrilled with the purchase, was trying to order a Uso shirt online. I was like, I got you. Just give it a little bit of time. So that was a ball. Heyman's speech, the greatest Hall. I mean, rest in peace to Scott Hall. but Paul Heyman, as expected, and sorry to Mark Calloway, but Paul Heyman, as expected, delivered the greatest Hall of Fame speech of all time. Again, ecstatic that I got to see that live. We got a couple minutes into the Bull Nakano speech. Took Valentina to the bathroom. It just made sense. Let's hit the road, try to beat some traffic. Got home. Saturday was a whole fresh new day. So I got to attend Suplex Mania. Picked up our friend, co-host of the show, Josh Prepagina. Picked him up from his flight from North Carolina. We had Suplex Mania. Boom, immediately hit a brewery that was serving beers there. Grabbed a beer, decent lager, bopped around, saw the homies in Suplex, saw the homies from P's and Q's, went in there, banged a couple shots, banged several more beers, came back. Pictures, seeing old friends. I'm seeing friends through streetwear and sneakers I haven't seen in years. I'm letting them pose, take pictures with the belts. Then they're buying beers, they're giving shots of bourbon. We're just going at it, and watching free live indie wrestling. Everything seems to kind of calm down. The guys from Suplex are cleaning up. I'm just prepping. I felt like we were in the way, so you know what? We'll go back to Westchester, watch night one home. The owner Chris pretty much just said, "Hey, look, man, appreciate everything you guys have done. I'll be personally offended if you don't stay and watch." So we ended up staying. We get right to the finish of the first match, and Carmelo Hayes walks in. He's doing a lap through the shop. Everyone's trying not to fanboy. It's pretty much all employees of Prep and I. And then the guy just kind of a lap, and he hits it off some small combo with me, and we end up watching 3 matches with him. Hell of a time, humble guy, just complete regular dude. At end of night one, took the ride back to Westchester. It was like, all right, gotta recharge. Got night two is gonna be right back at it in Philly. So woke up, had some pregame drinks in my town, then went tailgating. We had a nice little group of a dozen or so of us. Enjoyed Mania, and when I bought me and Valentina's tickets for SmackDown, there was a better deal to buy the 3-day pass. I did skip NXT Stand and Deliver, but me and her did go back to Raw, and got to enjoy that. Got to see see The Rock, see Cena, some surprises. Didn't stay for the whole show because, again, I don't want to say it was a complete Mania hangover, but I was exhausted, still fighting this cold, so we did leave early. It was also a school night, but I feel like normally with that WrestleMania hangover, I just kind of man, I need a break from wrestling. However, I'm chomping at the bit for a little more. I need a little more of this. I got questions. There's stuff I want to know what's going on. I'm looking forward to the next match. Looking forward to the next storyline. So, which is a great sign. Great work by everyone, all involved.
All right. So for me, as I stated, I live further out now, so the commute is ridiculous. So I did go to Wale Mania after work.
What that commute run you? Just over an hour and a half?
Well, without traffic, straight, it says an hour and 10 minutes. So it's not bad, but the loops and stuff you have to go for me to get home, it's not like a straight shot. It's a straight shot that I got to go take this turn and all these loops around on the highway. It's a lot. So it says an hour and some change, but it feels like it's 2. And Thursday, it's like, dude, I don't know how the hell I made it home. You ever drive and think you fell asleep, but you really didn't?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that. I get it.
So that's how I felt. So Thursday I did attend Wale Mania. I was with Donovan and DJ. So the thing I'll say about Wale Mania, that was the main thing I wanted to do because I've seen it throughout the years on social media. It looks fun. And me being me, I'm always the person that says social media is just the greatest hits. Social media can make you make anything look good. And I don't want to say it was a bad time, but Donovan hit it on the head. It's more fun for the wrestlers and the people on stage because they know each other, they're their own kind of clique or whatever. We're just an audience. We all probably don't know each other, and then when the show was happening, it was good, but there were so many things there'll be 20 or 30 minutes in between segments. So something will happen, the Pride came on the stage, and then there'll be a 20-minute gap where the DJ just playing music and nobody's on stage, and we're just sitting here waiting patiently. And that happened a bunch of times throughout the show. I'm not sure if it's always like that, but that's what happened in Philly. So like, there was a lot of impatience and like a lot of dead time. They got everybody kind of restless. I will say this: Big Swole in person is very beautiful. Samantha, my God. Ricochet, you got it. Because my Lord, she is stunning. Excellent. If anybody has seen her on the flute, she has
hella praise this weekend. Hella praise.
She's taken over the top spot with a flute, bumping down the Green Ranger. But she did do a great. But she did. It was a really good quick segment. It was great. Donovan was done after some dude came out in a shiesty mask, started rapping. He was like, "I'm out." He's like, "I'm out. I had enough of this." So I also did meet up with Jay. He's actually watching on Instagram Live now at the moment, I believe. He did pick up a couple things for me. I do appreciate that. I have to get that poster framed, and the basement will be done maybe by the end of the month or beginning of next month, so I can have everything.
He picked me up 2 of the gold titles. I really appreciate him for that. He's a legend.
Oh, really?
No,
okay. I was about to say.
I saw him briefly at Suplex Mania. Those things were long sold out Thursday. I can't remember if he went Thursday or not. I think he ended up going Friday. But either way, it was
So
I think like the opening minutes.
Yeah, so after Donovan left, that was around like 10:30. And then I met up with Jay to grab the stuff, and then I went back inside for a little bit. Wale finally came out at 11. And after that, I was like, you know what, I'm out because I got to go to work the next day, and I already know that this thing ain't ending no time soon. And social media, R-Truth came out, and like I left specifically when Beanie Siegel came out. But I was like, I'm out. So I don't want to say I do think it's fun when everything is working well and everything was flowing well. But like Donovan said, it seemed like it was just more for them. And after that, I just did Sunday. I purchased a ticket to WrestleCon. I really didn't need it because they weren't like checking tickets for anything. You can kind of go into the hotel free.
I don't know if I'm showing or he is, but that service in Delaware is a little sus tonight.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. So, we got cut off, guys. But, yeah. So, I went to WrestleCon. I bought a ticket online. And when I got there, you basically go up the escalator and quote unquote check in and get a wristband. But security was so goofy. Then they're half-assing checking for wristbands. So, it's like, I bought this ticket.
I heard on Sunday, like the ticket for the World and WrestleCon looked the same, that people were using them to go to both.
Oh, really? Yeah. So WrestleCon, I bought the ticket online before I got there. So I go up the escalator, whatever. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't see anybody scanning for tickets, but there's a check-in on the second floor. I don't scan. I didn't know that until after the fact. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just going to walk in. And I just walked in. Like, they're asking for wristbands. I don't have a wristband on at all. So like some people just walking in, some guards just letting them go. But also, I believe it was almost over around 2. So I got there like a little close to 1. So I guess they're just letting everybody go freely or whatever. But I did do a few laps around WrestleCon. That's what I did on Sunday. And went to Suplex. Was supposed to meet up with Prep, but it didn't happen. Went to Suplex. And then after that, I met up with you guys, and we had we had a hardcore time in the parking lot.
As one would expect.
You'll see some tables, some table spots. You'll see that if you want to on the Matt Madness socials. And then Sunday was the main event, the Granddaddy Night 2, which we did attend. And I thought it was a good show. So while we're here, give me your thoughts and your rating match of the weekend, match of the night, whichever you prefer. Give me all your thoughts about WrestleMania Night 1 and 2.
So I'll condense my review for both. Like Jay said last week, history shows typically Night 1 being the better night of the 2, and I thought there was a good chance that that saga would end, and it did. I thought overall as a showstopper between the two nights, with night one night one being a little subpar in comparison to night two. Night one, nothing wrong with it really. Overall, night two just a little better. Again, it could be biased because I was there live. Did enjoy the tag match. Definitely enjoyed the Intercontinental title match night one. Ladder match was good. It's kind of like the way we predicted it with the with the titles being split. Kind of a little whack that it was obvious because the titles were different sides of the ring that this is kind of what was going to happen. I wish it kind of made it definite that we would know that's what's going to happen. Or my other nitpick was I think the baby faces should have got the tag belts first and then the heels should have got the second ones rather than vice versa. But that's the main nitpick from that. Moving on to night two, since I was there live, thought everything flowed real nice, real good. Again, being that this is only my second Mania in comparison to being at Citizens Bank, or I'm sorry, the Lincoln Financial Field in comparison to Mercedes-Benz for NOLA and 34. I enjoyed our seats. I would say overall kind of similar seats to what we had at 34, would you say? Obviously a different direction, but like as far as distance, we were farther away.
Well, I'll get to that.
The ring was a little obscure. I got a little.
I'll get to that in a little bit.
I definitely found myself, and again, my vision not being perfect, and I didn't wear my glasses that day, but I definitely caught myself watching the monitors a little more. Still, just cool for the atmosphere. Anytime you're at a wrestling show and there's that many people, it's always cool. There's a little part of me, like the last couple of times I've been at wrestling shows, I'm like, maybe I really appreciate the ECW arena. Like, I really don't think anything beats when you got that like 1,000 or so people in there crammed. It's like the best. Like everyone's in there, especially if it's sold out. The reaction from everyone is just bar none. Raw and SmackDown, because they had the smaller stage, looking somewhere between 15 to 20,000 people in there. It was super cool. Both nights were real lively crowds. I think we had a pretty decent crowd for the most part. I would say definitely night two. We showed out a little more than night one. But again, I know there were some weather issues, being how cold it was. But again, my cousin finally finished the story. Cody's the new WWE champion. We got to see another live cash-in. It's not the first time me and you've been in attendance live together seeing that. We've seen several of those now. That whole opening segment, that World Heavyweight Championship match was a lot of fun. Really good match. It's one of those things about when you're there live. I wish I could have been hearing the commentary, which kind of makes it must-see to go back and rewatch it. But the whole interaction with Punk and then McIntyre, the aftermath, Punk getting physical, McIntyre cashing in, McIntyre the first heavyweight champion under the WWE banner of Puerto Rican descent in 50 years. It's just a pretty cool thing, especially just, seeing this guy, him and Cody, we saw them both as Ring of Honor champions, 6, 7 years ago. And then now look at them. They're world champions in WWE. It's awesome. Awesome stuff. But definitely give it a showstopper across the board.
As a whole, for both nights, or that's your
both nights, but as a whole, I would say WrestleMania 40. Okay. I'm giving it a showstopper.
Okay, so you did say you didn't rewatch night two, right?
I have not yet.
Okay, cool. So about our seats, I liked our seats. The only downfall when they have it in an outside stadium is that canopy. So we had the rail like in our view. Now CJ, I'm not sure if CJ had that in his way, but for me and you, because we were sitting next to each other, we had that canopy. And then I wanted to rewatch it because like CM Punk was on commentary, and then the main event with Roman Reigns and Cody. There's so many nuances that we can't hear or see being live. So I wanted to go a point to watch that. And certain things that were going on, I couldn't get into because we were there and not watching.
You haven't rewatched yet either, right?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes, I have. So night one, just slobberknocker. I was disappointed with the Usos match because I understand there's probably more to that, but that didn't live up to anything or anybody's expectations at all. I was a little disappointed with the 6-woman tag. I thought it'd be more of a showcase for Jade. The ladder match was awesome. Becky and Rhea was awesome. The Intercontinental title match, I had the smallest nitpick. I think it should have took a little more to beat Gunther than just the one Holuva kick. Maybe 2 or 3. That's my only nitpick.
Or a sloppy pin. I don't even know if he really hooked the leg.
Well, my thing was like at first glance, that brainbuster off the top rope, I was like, I know that was a botch or what. But Corey Graves said that was the brainbuster. And then, like I said, like if he hit him with more than just one Holuva kick, but that's just a minor nitpick. The LWO versus Dom and Santos, I can care less. That just seemed like it was just thrown together last minute because they had nothing for Dom. Because Dom pretty much kind of like distanced himself from the whole Ray thing for the most part. And then he just pops up 2 weeks prior with Santos. So I think they kind of just threw that together last minute. And
my little, I guess, tidbit opinion on it, and I guess I kind of forgot that was a night one thing. And again, I'm fans of a lot of people involved in the storyline, and it's pretty cool because the other factors from Legado del Fantasma were at ringside. The rest of LWO was at ringside, and it's pretty cool just to have about 8 plus Hispanics involved in this huge ordeal of a match, despite the mix of factions. Cool to see Andrade get put in the babyface role. Don't know if he's going to be part of LWO now. I kind of going to assume he's not, since he's going to be on Raw, unless there's a draft switch. I know we have a draft coming up. But being a longtime fan of Andrade, I got really invested on SmackDown. Super Mark, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I was expecting him to be involved because they told him take out Ricochet. You join Judgment Day. He's not involved there. I was like, wait, I thought he was coming out. I kind of was banking on him to win. Then they kind of had like the heel turn moment where he comes out with Santos. I was like, damn, heel. And then when he ends up coming to Ray's aid, a lot of good feel-good moment there. And I was happy to see him in that spot rather than seeing Dragon Lee. So I did enjoy that match. Definitely a hodgepodge of, cross brands and just mixed faction group. But I do think the match delivered.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun spots. Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, that was fun in the Lucha mask. But night one, like I said, like it had good stuff and good moments, but it just didn't hit me. And I don't seem to be the only one that feels that way. Now the main event, I had to watch again because like Leah got home, Angel and Leah got home late, so like I was putting Leah to bed, so I missed a lot of stuff. But that match, fantastic. Real long, but fantastic. Like The Rock telling Chad Patton, "I'll fire you." Fantastic. And like that's a story throughout the match. And he's telling Cody, "Look, I can't do nothing.
I'm
or he's going to fire me. I'm sorry. That was really entertaining. Like him throwing his power around, they played off perfectly on commentary. And we talked about it, that how Rock and Roman would win, and Rock would get the pinfall over Cody. So that story could continue in the long run. Now, night two, I had to rewatch because from the distance that we were being blocked by the canopy, and also the guy that was 2 rows in front of us wouldn't sit down the entire time. The one you share Bailey with, him.
He loved me.
He wouldn't sit down. So a lot of times he was just standing up. I couldn't see. But like I said, there was also a lot of things that we needed to hear and see on TV. So Seth and Drew, fantastic match. CM Punk on commentary, gold. It was perfect. Like when he couldn't put
best in the world, even on commentary.
When they couldn't put each other away, he was like, somebody's got to hit a GTS. Somebody's got to win. And after McIntyre won the title, like Punk just like laughing at him because it's his first time winning in front of fans. So because Michael Cole pointed that out, so Punk just kind of laughed that off, and also he kind of like foreshadowed the cash in before it happened, because right after the match he says, "Well, I'm paraphrasing, but congratulations to Drew McIntyre. I'm not sure how long he'll be champion." And then a few minutes later, Priest comes out and cashes in Money in the Bank. So it was a great way to foreshadow what could potentially happen, because we talked about this last week in the weeks prior. We're not sure how Priest would cash in, but because we know McIntyre was going to get his moment, but Punk getting physical made sense. And even on Raw, he cost him his the more contenders match. So it made sense and made everything work for Damian Priest to be able to cash in, because it didn't make any sense for him to get involved in the match. But the post match, yes, and I don't think any of us thought that was actually going to happen. Now,
for sure, I did not. I didn't see him getting physical either night, and I popped for both.
Yeah, U.S. title match that came across great live. Definitely. So I didn't have to rewatch that, because I know that came across great live from the crowd. Bayley and Io, I thought also needed to be rewatched, and because there was a spot, because I thought Bayley like legit got hurt in the match because she was like holding her knee or selling her knee, but since we're there live, there were things I couldn't see from our seats. So Bayley was getting the knee worked on by Io in the match, and that match turned out really well. The crowd was way more behind Bayley on screen versus live, because I thought it was a really good match, and that was like a really well-renowned match. Main event, you have to rewatch it. You just have to, because Roman Reigns was on one in this match. Pat McAfee was on one in this match on commentary. Roman Reigns, if you remember, he hits the crossroads on Cody, and Cody kicks out. He's like, that move sucks. That move doesn't beat anybody. He's just like, I'm going to send you to Hollywood. This is my fucking show and stuff like that. And this is clearest things you can hear him saying. And Pat McAfee's like, talk your shit, which was really fun. Came across really well. The run-ins, you and Jay convinced me last week that they made sense. Cena was solo, made sense. We all know if Jimmy got involved, Jay was going to get involved. Now, also a nitpick, we assumed it was going to be Austin, but it was The Undertaker. And we all know how I feel about The Undertaker with Rock and Austin. They might have had matches, but they weren't like each other's biggest rival. They didn't have the best chemistry or matches. And I guess they couldn't get Austin for whatever reason. But unfortunately, because that would have made it perfect. I would pay anything to see Rock sell the stunner one more time across the ring. I'll pay just about anything for that. But I'll give night 2 a showstopper, because I thought night 2 was fantastic. The Pride and the Final Testament I could have cared less about, but night 2 100% delivered. And
match was so good they went back to NXT.
night 2 absolutely delivered, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to get next. So Rock shows up on Raw. He says he's going to be stepping away for a while. As we we didn't even talk. We talked about it before we started the show last week, and not on air like we were supposed to. So Rock said he was going to take some time away. A real awkward moment with Cody saying, "Hold the belt. This feels right," and hands Cody something. We don't know what it is. So book me The Rock versus Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to book it what I realistically think / see happening. Cody's going to go to SmackDown this week. We're going to figure out, or we're at least going to allude to who's going to be his next challenger. They're probably going to figure some type of multi-man match, some tournament to be his number 1 contender for Backlash or whatever the next pay-per-view is. I'm guessing we're going to get 2, maybe 3 pay-per-views until I think The Rock returns. You get 2 or 3 solid challenges for B-level shows, Cody defending, getting some retains. And I think at whatever, or if we get to a 3rd defense, I think Rock interferes, calls it a DQ, Cody retains the belt, and then we see them feud. We see about a 3 to 4 week build up into SummerSlam. He comes back. They reveal what was in the hand, which all my guesses and I think all the suspicions all of them kind of come out to being stupid. They're either ruin kayfabe but don't really make sense. So hopefully they really throw some good curveball on it, especially just with Cody's mannerisms and body language from when he received it, and Rock's line of "You broke my heart." So it's a complicated thing. I think that just makes the best sense. And then, Cody gets his pinfall back. He was pinned by The Rock in night 1. And then, let's say SummerSlam, he gets to pin him. I hope this isn't something we're waiting 12 months for 41.
So the interesting thing is, I think that me and you could clearly say that Roman Reigns might become the biggest babyface in wrestling after this loss.
It's a sin. Leukemia couldn't do it.
So what I'm thinking is, 'cause I think The Rock stays heel. And, this is somewhat how you get to Roman versus Rock next year. So Rock comes back, let's say July, and he starts to build to a SummerSlam match, because I think it's going to happen at SummerSlam or one of these Saudi shows, because there's rumors they're trying to get him to work a Saudi show. So I think it's going to happen in one of these. I think Cody's going to face Rock. And I think Rock's going to start talking about how he's the real head of the table. So I think Cody does get his win back whenever they do wrestle. And then also I could see Rock possibly winning the title. And I could see Roman Reigns returning at the Royal Rumble and winning the Royal Rumble and facing Rock at WrestleMania as Rock's champion. But what do you do?
See Cody without the belt.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what do you do what do you do with Cody? Because I can also see Rock talking all this shit.
Rock's got a belt; he can defend against Roman.
I can see The Rock talking all this shit, saying I'm the real head of the table, and Roman actually kind of cost him the title, cost Rock the title. I can see that happening. That's how I think you can kind of get to Rock versus Roman, because we all know the Cody versus Rock match is happening, because Cody did say you're still my final boss. So that match is going to happen. And being the final boss, I would assume Cody wins. And especially since Rock got the pin on him at WrestleMania. So Cody wins. And after that is where the problems lay. Do they face each other at the Royal Rumble, like when Punk fought Rock? They just have the match at the Rumble and Roman returns there and not enter the Royal Rumble match. That could also happen, but I do think we're going to get some version of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hella must see, and it's entertaining. And I have more random people texting me asking questions about what's being said in interviews, what happened in this match, what happened in this. It's must see shit right now.
Yeah, there is a special that's airing on YouTube. Actually, I believe it came on tonight about the behind the scenes of WrestleMania. I didn't watch it yet. I believe it said Wednesday, which is tonight. Or it was supposed to air on YouTube. So I'm definitely going to seek that out, because talk about the wrestling hangover. I don't have the hangover like I did the 2 times prior with the WrestleMania, because I had the option to go home to my own bed.
I'd also argue now, again, I also think some of that stuff in Philly, I had a 45-minute drive, you get that hour drive. I think if I was staying the night there, like we were in New Orleans, like a couple blocks away from Bourbon Street, we were able to just kind of bop around, grab Ubers to things. I vented to prep about it. I'm like, man, it sucks. I feel like I did more 6 years ago. Like I got to participate in more stuff. But again, stuff, whether we did it on a whim, but we were there. Everything was accessible. Again, with it being home and life was still going on, kind of detracted from that. But I do feel like my hangover is less than it was last year for WrestleMania 39, watching, and I doubt I watched SmackDown. I probably watched the Hall of Fame. And then, going into 2 nights of Mania, then Raw, I feel like I was more exhausted of wrestling then than as compared to right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I consume it differently than what I used to, but 33 and 34, when I went, I was over it. I'm like, yo, I want to go home. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of y'all. I'm ready to go. But I think the option that I had, go home to my own bed, my own home, made it more
That's
fathomable.
why you like the Rumble so much this year.
to make it more fathomable. Like just being around it's fun when it's going on, like Suplex went viral for the block party. Like it's
As
fun
they should have. It was a beautiful ceremony they put on.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to them. It was fun. It's always fun to see that stuff, but it's just like, all right, I got to turn this stuff off for a little bit. But I don't have that wrestling fatigue, and also like I didn't like also when I went the other 2 times, it was constant wrestling. Like I went to a bunch of shows. Like we would be we did like the Joey Janela show in New Orleans.
Joey Janela, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor.
Yeah. It was like
Prep did a few other shows. I don't know if you did Pancakes and Pile Drivers.
No, I didn't go. I was with you. I was getting drunk in the mall.
Oh, had to be there.
That was
suspenders on right now.
That was a time getting drunk at the mall bar
underneath the escalator.
Walking around and you try to get me to buy these overalls.
Oh, yeah, overalls.
but yeah, I didn't have that fatigue this year. Like even like I watched NXT too, by the way, and I didn't.
I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, I reckon.
I had a ticket to go. I could have went. I contemplated like asking Prep if you want to go, but and that was another cool thing about Suplex Mania. Like, I was bummed out about myself where I wanted to go there and be there like live when they were setting up when the show started, but I got there maybe 50 minutes into it or whatever, but it was cool to like go there, see a little bit of match, grab a beer, say what's up to people, boop, boop, boop. Okay, cool. Look, these people selling this, look this. I look at merch, this and that. Oh shit, I kind of know you from wrestling, this, that. Okay. Walk 2 blocks away, be away from wrestling, see the homies at P's and Q's, be like, all right, get a little break from wrestling. Then people are coming in, yo, you want a Mania? Like then people are like, because they know I'm a fan, this and that. Like, people I've known for 15 plus years. Through like streetwear and stuff, they're coming up like, oh yeah, Mania, this and that. I'm not going, but these 3 are going. And then like, okay, cool. All right, let's go back to the block party. Go down, get the people's margarita, keep the party going. Back wrestling. It was cool to like come back and forth into it.
Yeah. So I did watch NXT, and I'm not sure if you heard, but Trick and Mello a little underwhelming. Like the finish the finish.
Everyone said it kind of fell flat. Yeah.
The match that you need to watch is
tag titles.
No, that match was good too, but the triple threat for the North American title. Oh my god!
I saw some clips.
That match was awesome. It was amazing. I really, really enjoyed that match. It was like when I saw like Brooks Jensen was in, I was like, I'm not. What's he doing in here? But he definitely showed out in that triple threat. It was an excellent match, and Roxanne Perez and Laura Valkyria, I thought they had a really good match as well. But that triple threat was definitely one of the matches and highlights of the weekend. I highly recommend watching that. The tag match was excellent too, but my favorite match from the NXT pay-per-view was the triple threat for the North American title.
So yeah, definitely got to go back and catch up on Stand and Deliver. Nowadays, I'm forever behind on Stand and Deliver or with NXT product.
Yeah, and then I also, like I said, I don't have the fatigue. I also watched the Roman Reigns documentary. I thought that was really good.
How do you watch that?
So I'll send you the link because there's this. For some reason, they just end up on YouTube. Like this one guy, he just uploads them.
Okay, yeah, send it to me. I need to watch it. I'm so like all those A&E stuff. I'm like a season and a half behind on the documentaries because they're not on YouTube TV.
Yeah, I don't watch them all. It's just the one that interests me. Like when Jay was here last week, I told you I had wanted to watch it because it teased like some WrestleMania implications. But I did enjoy it. And the one thing about these docs that I do enjoy is they don't go around the fluff. So like they show like Roman's lowlights, like the sucker and succotash promos and all the stuff that was bad. They don't hide. They don't
just show the good.
Yeah, they don't shy away from it. So I really do appreciate that. So that's heavy in the documentary, and then him building this character for the last 3.5, 4 years. That's also in there. But it's a really good documentary. I highly recommend it. And one that disappointed me, I had high hopes for it, but I'm not sure why. Maybe I just kind of got myself hyped up. But it was the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and Dudley's for Rivals. I did. It's just all stock footage, all interviews. So when I saw them doing it, I was like, okay, so As we know, Triple H is
Kind of makes
WWE.
sense when 4 of 6 aren't on their contract.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, okay, Triple H is WWE, he's not shying away from people who helped build this company, and he
Yep.
acknowledges them. Because if Vince was there, then this wouldn't even come out. But I'm like, I'll watch this, but it's all like older footage. So I was like, I was a bit let down by that, but I did watch that.
2 tidbits I got. One, it's because I brought it up earlier. Well, you just brought up Triple H. And, you know, while hot theme of the weekend is giving this man his flowers, his wife Stephanie opened night 2, giving him his flowers. They opened Raw, giving him his flowers. You know, Philly, we were 20,000 people chanting, thank you, Hunter, thank you, Hunter. And he said, no, I came out just to thank you. Awesome. I love the praise he's getting. And I know if I love it, you really got to love it. Outside of that, just because there's a lot of love and homage that was played to Hamish Hurst Helmsley. What do you think of Paul's Hall of Fame speech? I know I brought it up, but I didn't really get any input from you.
I didn't find the full thing.
Okay.
But
it's on Peacock. You can find the whole thing.
Okay. But from what I saw, I did enjoy it. Like, okay. I love the fact that he brought out the ECW, like, well, not the ECW, that's just his look, but the trench coat and the hat and the phone.
Yeah.
It was so good. And the fact that he said that
he brought out the Paxson ECW hat, which I even popped more for.
So, God, that's terrible. But like, even
close, but no cigar, but still cool.
But even
it almost justifies it for the marks like me that got that one.
When he talked about when he said CM Punk was sitting next to his kid saying he's gonna get canceled, he's like, I'll still come back better than ever. I thought it was great, and thanking Triple H, of course, saying I'm a Paul Levesque guy. Like, I was like he's like you know what, me too, Heyman, I am too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that needs to be a shirt. But from what I saw,
that, like,
I did think it was great.
He has said in interviews that, like, you know, I've declined this before, but to be the first headliner, the first induction into the first class picked solely by Paul Levesque, I had to take it. Just over 20-something minutes. It is a really good speech. You as a father as well, he does have a nice line on, you know, kind of hyping up and motivating his kids. It was pretty cool to be sitting there live next to my daughter to kind of, you know, put my arm around her and just be like, yeah, you hear that? Like, that's a bar. That's a bar. It was pretty cool too, because, like, you know, I hyped it up. I reposted a couple of things of it. So my brother sends me a picture of him and my goddaughter on the couch the next morning watching it.
You think that was the talk of the 4th grade Monday morning?
Yeah, I think it was to talk about a lot of grades. I actually, you know, I think it was in the major group. Somebody that was a teacher posted something about how, you know, majority of the class was all talking about how crazy WrestleMania was. And he's like, I've been teaching high school for how long? This is never what goes on the day after Mania weekend. So
I got a point about that too, but I was mainly referring to her commentary during
Valentina specifically.
yes. That's what I was mainly referring to.
She actually did tell me a bunch of people talked about WrestleMania at school, which actually popped to me. Yeah, especially because it's the same school that in the first grade in recess, I gave a little girl the crouch drop, told her to suck it, not even really comprehending what I'm doing.
You comprehend it now and you still do it. That's terrible. But yeah, her commentary. I'm
Viva la Brazil.
I'm like, where the hell did she get this shit from? It ain't Matt Madness. But that really did pop me. Now, the mainstream stuff like really killed me. Like Nightcap with Punk and Ocho. That was the first thing they talked about on their Sunday episode was WrestleMania. And like they're trying to, like, I know they don't watch, you know, it's just a topical thing to talk about or whatever. But it's just interesting to see like wrestling's like back, I guess you could say. It's fun to see that like mainstream shows like that and the most popular shows are even giving it the limelight that it deserves at this point.
Yeah. It was funny. Like, I was scrolling on my desk on Monday watching it, and one of the finance managers who I've never talked about wrestling to, he walks by, and I like over my head, I was like, oh, let me just, like, I was there. Why do I gotta keep going? So I scroll, and he's like, oh, what was that? I was like, WrestleMania. He's like, did you go? I was like, I just went for night 2. He's like, so Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns? I was like, yeah. He's like, I don't really buy it. That's a big dude. I was like, well, I mean, watch it. Maybe you'll get it. And he's like, I actually think I'll give it a chance soon. What the hell? What is going on here?
Yeah, even like for me at work, it's like I guess like they just now like discovered like I watch wrestling because like a couple of people like I post a lot of the clips to TikTok, so they'll see the clips of this show with me and you. They're like, "Oh, yo, you watch Aaron? You watch? I didn't know that." Or I've shown up on I popped up on people's YouTube homepage because of like if my number's in their phone, the algorithm knows that. So like I might be somebody they might know. So like I've had people come to me. It's like, dude, I watched I watched your you and your friend's show. Like, oh, okay, thank you, appreciate that, and so on and so forth. But it was like the topic. They like, oh, hey, you went to WrestleMania? Like, yeah, how was it? A lot of people. I told you, my coworkers' son went, and the whole Cody get up and stuff like that. Yeah, so wrestling's back. I guess we'll see where it goes because WrestleMania season's over. But we'll see where everything.
I'll tell you what, WWE is definitely back. WWE is definitely beating a drum. A hot topic I have to bring up. We brought up, and this is why it's definitely must watch. I got to go rewatch. I must rewatch. I have to rewatch that world title match. We did talk about Ariel Helwani, CM Punk being on it. Obviously, I have to bring it up. I don't know if you've watched the clip yet, and I don't get why they did this.
I was about to set you up for this. I was trying to line you up for this.
It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm a little heartbroken. So last week I brought up how, the past, I'd say last year and a half for sure, AEW has been in a lull. Maybe a year ago, it really was starting to get to the lull. A year and a half, it just wasn't what it was in 19, 20, 21, 22 is when it got a little foggy. 23 was a rough year. They're fighting to not make 24 a good year. CM Punk, who was fired from the company summer of 2023. So the fall of 2023 did not see CM Punk in AEW. The end of the fall, we saw him return to WWE. The winter has came. The winter has ended. We are here in spring. He has had 2 matches in WWE. He's commentating. He's selling merch like gangbusters. He's winning his peers back over. And despite 6 months of not being on AEW, the Young Bucks and Tony Khan thought tonight was a good night to play back the video of him and Jack Perry's altercation backstage from All In August of 2023 with no audio. And in this no audio footage, it just backed up word for word what he said on Ariel Helwani. AEW made CM Punk more of a babyface than he already was to WWE fans. If anything, if there was any chance, and obviously I'm a huge FTR fan, if for some reason they were getting stale to anyone, the fact that they are by proxy always going to be connected to him, they may have just re-won some fans over if anyone got stagnant with them. Dynamite overall, pretty unimpressive tonight. I hate to say it. I love both guys involved. What a stupid week to end the show. Now, again, the show opens was supposed to be a world title. What the hell do they call it? This company's pissing me off so much. I don't forget it's not a number one contenders match. You know what I'm talking about? AEW does a match where Eliminator. They do a World Championship Eliminator match. Dustin versus Samoa. Swerve attacks Samoa before the match, so the match gets moved to the main event. So we got Dustin Rhodes, older brother of the WWE champion, facing Samoa Joe, the AEW World Champion, the Samoan not related to former World Champion Roman Reigns, on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Why put this out on this week? Honestly, it would have made more sense for Rampage or Dynamite or Collision, one of these shows that are less viewed than Dynamite, like their focal point show. I mean, anyone that bashes a product, which I try not to. I love AEW. All our listeners know I love it. But you're really going to give us the other Samoan world champion versus the older Rhodes brother? It's the new company with the old brother.
trying to start a story.
Not even just that, like it also just tells you, like, I mean, like it's an eliminator match before a pay-per-view. You already knew like Joe's not going to lose, but like talk about this is a 2021, a 2022 Raw main event. Like it doesn't matter. Skip it, fast forward. I don't need to watch. Dynamite match. I'm just sitting there. Oh, I like that match was on. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go fold some clothes. I don't got to pay attention to it. I'll go set the laptop up and get ready to do the pod. Yeah, some stupid moves by the boys over in Jacksonville this evening.
Yeah, maybe Tony was on South Street in a corner somewhere when he made this decision, because originally I thought this was going to be a parody of like the Young Bucks just like reenacting it to make a joke or something like that. But then like
I was thinking there's no way they actually do it, and they actually did it.
And then I was like, okay, they didn't technically say CM Punk. It's just everybody's assumption because of the topic came up in the timing. So I was like, okay, they didn't necessarily say it. So like verbiage is key, but they actually did do it. And they try to flip it around to basically say like they were off their game when they faced FTR. But that is fucking nothing. I don't know what I don't get it. I truly don't. Like CM Punk cut the cap and told everybody what happened. And it's pretty much everything pretty much what he said. And then, you know, like for example, I was gonna bring this up because I was gonna do some research, but you sent me the research already because you know the internet's undefeated and they're quick on their feet. So they had the side by side of what he said and the actual audio. It's 100% accurate. I also did see that somebody, and I'm not sure if this is legit, but somebody did say that security footage doesn't have audio. But no matter what, what CM Punk said happened minus audio. Punk did say, I did this to him. So he's not lying. But I don't understand the purpose of like airing this, because this isn't moving a title match with FTR
and not just that
forward. I don't get it.
Not just that. If they were just trying to prove like that the guy's a bad guy, it's pro wrestling. Physical altercation is what it's all about.
But he fucking said what he did. I can understand he was lying, but what he said verbatim happened in that video. You just can't hear anything. And you already know that you got to say something crazy to somebody for them to put you in a headlock like that or choke you out. You have to say something wild. So what he said verbatim happened. So I don't know what the point you're trying to get out of this. And then you try to flip it around saying we were off our game because of this, because we had to put our EVP hats on. I just don't know. I really don't understand.
Wild times. What the hell are they doing?
Yeah. But anyway, on a lighter note, we had some Mattel reveals. I'm not sure where you are. Maybe it's just a mental thing for me and you, because you have your space now, so you've been trying to make a bunch of cuts. I have my space, so I'm trying to maneuver around and make cuts as well and make space for future things. But a little underwhelming. Maybe I wasn't as excited, but to me,
I think I said I wanted to be overwhelmed. There was some stuff that's been like rumored, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'll be honest, like, and it's one of those things, like, who knows when it comes out, you know, and it may be like the weight game. All right, yeah, $22. Wait till it hits the target sale for $8. Headbangers, like
those might have been the highlight. I don't need them. I'm probably not going to get them, but they were a highlight. They look good.
I'd say a new RVD with both ECW belts, highlight. Punk. So that way, you know, the dream of chasing that All-Stars Punk, I can give that up. It comes with the Punk shirt, that defining moment set. Awesome. I mean, yeah, the Punk and RVD. Who else is there? Kane, which isn't really essential. And who's the fourth person in there?
LA Knight.
Yeah, I mean, so 2 out of 4 was really needed. And the Dudleys, I know Devon's really prototype, but like we talked about, ECW Dudleys and the fact that we're getting them in there. Yeah, that. A lot of stuff like, I mean, we saw the ultimate of the outsiders, but we knew we were getting them. So I'd say, I don't want to say underwhelming, because I didn't want to be overwhelmed. I do feel like I saw now again, because the basics are up. Basics are back. Again, they got a whole new name, the main event line of figures. I felt like there was one or two good ones in there I saw I needed. And then I really regret, like, because I said to you in our group text, like, I almost predicted this for the Monday Night War line, but seeing a new Commissioner Michaels has me contemplating selling the original. Definitely looking forward to that, but I do feel like, yeah, it depends. Like, if I could get peak value, yeah. But like, because when I think of Commissioner Michaels, I do think of that brown suit.
So when I see you post stuff late, I'll be like, if he only did it when I did it.
Yeah.
Because I got top dollar for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
it's hard now.
I know it's hard now. It's hard.
I can't buy a sale, and
Yeah,
then the way this from the vault line is going to work, man, the whole line's about to take a hit.
Oh yeah,
everything I think is going down in value.
Absolutely.
I don't think nobody's going to want to buy nothing.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. Like, it benefits you, but then it doesn't if you try to get rid of it. Now you can get rid of the old one, but you're gonna have to, like, close to retail. Maybe if the new one's 22, maybe you get it. Maybe you sell your old one for 40 because somebody's impatient.
Yeah,
because that is a thing that people get impatient and don't want to wait for it. But yeah, like let me pull up ringside. So
it ain't like sneakers. It ain't everybody wanting the old thing.
So ringside now, like Elite, what is this? Elite 109, that's coming in soon because that's pretty much set to go. That's with Damian, Dom, Bailey, Cody in the suit, Seth with the new title, Shinsei is a chase. Like Damian,
I gotta be wrong. But is that set? Again, this is 109 sets, so I gotta be wrong. All right, never mind. I can't say 109 because I guess maybe, who knows? It was probably the teens when they started doing it. But is this not the first set since like 1 through 10 where there's no flashback?
I can't answer that. I don't have an answer for you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't got it either. And, you know, it could be something, there's something more recent, but definitely there's always usually one flashback.
Yeah, but like the Bailey in that set's good. The Dom's good in that set. But
that's a good set.
Yeah, it's a good set. Damian's getting an ultimate we've seen soon. Like I was hoping for an ultimate Rhea, and but the rest of what Damian and Dom get in one upcoming, it's pretty much clear that Rhea is going to end up getting one as well. But I did pre-order the upcoming Rhea Ripley. Like, we got a Carlito, but it's a modern Carlito, which I was upset about because I think we need a ruthless Carlito. The Jey Uso that's coming out, like, we're getting a Yeet one, but the ultimate, it's like his SummerSlam gear when he was feuding with Roman, saying he's the real tribal chief. Yeah, nothing really knocked me out the park.
Yeah, when you said something, this isn't the one. I can't remember what you said when you forwarded that one.
Yeah, I forwarded saying this isn't the one I want. I thought we were gonna get like a Yeet one, but it's the one that says the real chief or whatever. But she has a Yeet Elite instead of an Ultimate, so I thought the Yeet one would have ended up being the Ultimate. But yeah, I wasn't really.
Ultimates always kind of throw you off what they pick.
Yeah, and then, like I said, from the vault, you got like the DX wrote the Outlaws. They're getting a re-release. They actually made some changes.
It's really weird to me. Like, again, I love all the Outlaws figures, but like, I'm shocked they're not doing the Elite 26, 27 figure. Instead, they're going to that, like, you know, instead of going with the 10-year-old figure, they're going with like the 5-year-old figure. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because I'm not sure the difference in value between those, but they did change them up. They gave them cloth shirts because Road Dogg's shirt was molded on and
painted on.
Yeah, painted on. I'm sorry, and Billy just had the overhead shirt, and
which makes me wonder, like, and again, it's to each their own, but it's like, which do you prefer?
Yeah, I prefer the painted on Road Dogg.
I think so too.
Because he doesn't wrestle without a shirt.
I had one empty shelf in my DTOF, and I put all my DX figures, and I literally yanked the ringside Sean I literally put it in there. The next day he was revealed, I yanked it out. Like, let's hope I can sell this. And it's always funny. I always wanted to put like one of the extra Ultimate heads from the Survivor Series 97 Ultimate Sean on it because it goes way better. But yeah, so it's funny. But yeah, it was cool to put all my Outlaw Elites up in there. Love all their figures.
Yeah, but yeah, and also like with the re-release from the Vault, the DX Ringside Collectibles. I can't even say it's a re-release, but they write it the wrong because that was the wrong head. So they put the correct hairstyle on it. I won't be getting it, but they write it wrong. But yeah, there's for me like there was not a lot of meat on the bone. It's always fun to see these and send these to the DMs, but when you get down to it, it's just like, nah, I'm good. I'm glad we're getting a Tiffany. I hope it looks better than that basic. Yeah, it's not a lot here. I will love it. Like the Dudleys, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to hold off for a set of WWE Dudleys. But like even like New Day, like I need a New Day set. We got a new Woods coming, but we don't have a Kofi and a Big E maybe down the road. But yeah, there was not much that I'm like, okay, I got to get this one. Stuff. We saw the new Ultimate Rollins. We got an Ultimate Cena coming. The Ultimate Cody from last year's WrestleMania. The Ultimate Cody from last year's WrestleMania is actually looks really good. I'm going to put the smiley face on him though too. We also saw the Monday Night Wars stuff, which looks really good. Yeah, I'm the thing I'm most excited about is the Monday Night Wars DDP because I don't have a definitive Monday Night Wars DDP. I have it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing DDP on my display.
I still have like I'm more and more keep feeling like this figure's almost underrated and it's an undervalued figure.
It's a good
WCW,
figure.
Not that one. That's a great figure, but the other DDP one, which I think is like Elite 33, 34, somewhere in there, his WCW ring gear. It's like people are like, oh yeah, I wish we got the Ultimate with that. I'm like, you could go get that figure for probably $40, probably mock.
Mm-hmm.
That figure was always cheap. I got that. I have a WCW basic ring on one of my DTOFs, and that figure is positioned with it, which I do think one of probably the lighter jeans denim one will probably get purchased. I definitely popped for the Modern Trish. They did her face right.
That was good. Yeah, that one was good. The Modern Trish in person. Sheesh. So her WrestleCon. Sheesh.
One of the stupidest things seen was the Invisible John Cena.
And you knew it was coming.
Yeah. Should have expected it.
You knew it was coming. But yeah, that's all I have. You got anything else for me, buddy?
I think that wraps it up.
All right, guys. So that's it for the show. Make sure to turn on your post notifications. Thumbs up this video. Comment and subscribe. Also subscribe on podcast platforms. For X2 Flyer Extra Bicky, I'm Alo Aaron Lloyd. We will see you guys soon.
I'll see you on a table soon.